Tuamanda wasi na mamu akwaba edi aba Ashanti media like video no na share mo bi fufuro na ono so enye bi enhwe na niam bi ekoso woni patriotic party mu na mpese metwe adwen egina so titiriu efa kwan a omulusu parliamentary seat a ha adwen ye papa wo se MPP mpanyifo ne omo lawyers etimi sorry waka na omo keka omo hu anyesa omo seat a ewo parliament no ebesan so ate ananse so besan ate Nina ne se beka ya bra elections 2024 ekoso no seat ni bi wo ho a na NDC for contest peso mode ne den takashi agifiri omunsem beka oboasi east honorable Boachi Yadom ni seat nanka the late Samuel Boaje ko gini efiri ni nsem a ne se achese eko court ni ade anya asem kutu ene odiko ni nkrechi na even honorable Patrick Boama Okanke Central Krampo yehu se baba Sadiq bejubilate se wedi nkunim ni ade a nyame nchade sa results no so etimi over 10 year honorable Patrick Boama ato so a odi ni juma e de mo Okanke Central for na sa nsemo ekoso wene Kpandai constituency nya asem ketua a chese honorable Matthew Nyinadam chese ni seat kwan bia so NDC for person omoji seat ni free nsemo ene high court Krampo declare say yenkoye rerun of the election MPP lawyers are calling for state of ayehwe ni mu seja nsachira bi betimi aba ho but de me pese me twu adwen gina so nyina ne say yeto aba ni wie no na NPP ekura 88 seat e parliament na ubekaya akwetia constituency the late next kumi the seat no saa bi na ekoye court nsensem yekoba twantwana mu saa ye ni ba ye ho so no honorable next kumi sorry daya wan sorry eno so NDC for data kashi koji saa seat ni free omunsem ane ye no so aba be NDC seat a sisi ehwan aba 87 no so NDC sanso yirimu akwakoji bako.
We are expecting say you will be down. I mean, this should come as a shock to you because elections are now Ufri say you've been sworn in as member of parliament in the 9th parliament only for you to be hit with news and uti. It should be a disappointing story, mebwa.
Well, Obi Mamentia, what you for? Na macha Kpandai for. Na Master Monkwan said, I don't know what man no, and sign. The answer I don't know making me one and that's one sign. In one way, make me a say, I'm surprised. And the other way, so make me a say, I'm not surprised. In the sense that election na call you know. So Konu Bamua, because Ebehame, it's in history, you know, the Ekameka say, everything yes. But Kronubia I won the election with 3,734. That is a huge victory.
The margin between one NDC candidates no 3,734.
Yes, 3,734.
Now
what is a good margin between us?
That's fine. NDC candidate no a petitioner in this particular case no assembly party in order to call court. What was the challenge against election? No?
Thank you. Yetu abano every year no by 10 o'clock no one will say omolusu. In the process of collating no ya collati ya madiache. So omoblase no call for with party t-shirts and this sorry you can check multimedia, it is there. Emo be disorganized coalition center hono. Never be brave. But fortunately for all of us, you know, your pink sheets were home. So we were not bothered. But the security advice said, looking at the tension between the youth, you know, if you are not lucky, we'll share blood. And the electoral commission, you know, anchor region with all of us to go and do the declaration. Okay, you may not here. But deliberately, you know, they refused to go. One the actually, and the one case in the fair, but they almost declare election. No, they were not in the known. Secondly, almost naming 41 polling stations to be largely where I have won, usually say there were some irregularities that Omoma identified. So the court should run those 41 police stations. And some now, Omo call court, no.
Okay, basically, Omo the irregularities at 41 polling stations in the court.
Yes.
How many polling stations there were constituency?
152 police stations.
152. 152 polling stations.
152 police stations.
The number of votes it was 41 polling stations or more challenging, you know. Ukani nyina bomo ebe saying.
Ukani nyina bomo because that is one of my largest zone. No?
Yes.
It is about 10,000 votes.
Above 10,000 in those 41 polling stations.
Yes, most likely.
Okay. And
it is most likely about that man kanina amum.
That's fine.
But okay, areas now, that is the number. Likely or close to 10,000 votes.
Okay. Now, have you done the calculations? How far are 10,000 votes in the 41 polling stations that Unya sign for that 41 polling stations? Do you know?
41 polling stations, so over 10,000 votes, me Kenya 8,000 plus votes. I won in all those 41 polling stations.
Okay.
Because over me area say I got over 300 votes. And I want 80 votes. If you want 230 votes, and I want 15 votes. So these are the areas now of PKS and the core. And some of the irregularities now can say. Can say Ashanti FM, no police station or total votes 30.
Ashanti FM.
With the verification, you verify to vote both presidential and parliamentary.
Yes.
So the person verifies, he gets to the polls, he votes presidential, and then one to parliamentary. And over here verification, NIPA 30 now verify, but over parliamentary, NIPA 29, and on my record on my tuaba. These are some of the things that are specified irregularities. And over other areas as well, we'll say, electoral officers, or more indicate the ballot ranges, because before you start posting, you have to arrange the ballots in their ranges. That is ballot book 100, 02 days, this and so and this is another irregularities. And another one, so because we are giving duplicates, there are certain information that might be on the original thing sheet, but it might not appear on your duplicates. And the total number of votes on some particular thing sheets. These are the irregularities now, or the alcohol. And out of the 162 police stations, it is only 2 police stations and the agents are objective with the reasons. One NDC, one MPP. In think of NDC there, almost objective, only one, and almost agents are signed. All the 151 police stations, they signed to confirm how the elections were run and all those things. So these are the things now on the court. In one breath, I'm not too surprised. And I say, a week before today, and I'm starting constituency on social media. Oh, we are going to rerun election in Kpandai. And now moving to the police station. People should be ready. There's going to be a rerun. People and we were like, what is it that these people get aware now? Aware. And am I able to say, Adane, Akoso? And you could do court in Nano, regional minister or computer test and confirm. You will least expect, say, they'll be at the court, all of them were there. But I'm not saying our fancy danger, we already prepared ourselves because a man a year, see, my lawyer not prepared, appeal, any state of order, not state of execution, any call your bag in the moon. You see, we knew that we were going to give us our surprises. And see, just in our way, I saw now, and I make a cherry. But just mention the case.
Okay, but maybe for those 41 polling stations are almost challenging,
Yes.
The votes there in total,
Yes.
It will material effect on the general vote this one. For example, se basse court ne kase or an early voter e 41 polling stations na e betimi ama final results na sesana.
Obviously, because all those 41 police stations, and the police stations are winning very 90%.
Okay.
You see, the target, that was the target now. Although because someone calling for a rerun on those polling stations.
Onono calling for a rerun in the 41 polling stations.
That's what he started 41 polling stations after a rerun. That's what we saw.
Okay.
And the petition is public.
Okay, that's fine. Ain't you Sanka Court ne order rerun in the 41 polling stations ne pa anka enyon wama bebre. But because we calling for a rerun of the entire election, no, that is where o surprise ne wa meboa.
One, and you are surprised. And two, as an MP am running election 3 or 4 times. I know the laws of this country when it comes to elections, when it comes to ballot accounting.
FM.
And the CI 127 as amended, no. Also, provisions no clear.
Yes.
What is a breach? And some election. Now, who say, and the more when you know, the Bonia and Sia. I will be very surprised. Obimaka is side we are sitting, and we have precedent. So overcall Nana Developmental Akufo-Addo against JM in 2012. Free court ruled on some of these things. Over 2020, JM against Nana Developmental Akufo-Addo. The Free court ruled on some of those things.
Yes.
And now here proceedings now, court, which I was there. My monitor some of them. And the next will buy, Terry tells me that there was nothing wrong because they didn't even go there to challenge the votes because Oman votes Bianco. Because they didn't come there to challenge the votes. They came to let the court know the irregularities that took place. And then this movement of center from Kpandai to Tamalino, when the court examined the witness, Okase, he saw the EC, and then because it was at the polling center, he saw the EC, and then the police escorting the EC towards Tamale. He saw it, but he decided not to follow because the question was, the EC said he announced, but because he wanted to deny Okase or man announcement, he said he saw them going with the police escort. Now, police for escorting the family we had here. So I would have been very surprised if the verdict came on the 41. I would have been very surprised, but I would have given the benefit of the doubt to say at least this is what the person is seeking.
Yeah, but again, again, Sanka court no annul 41 polling stations ne results now. It may have changed the dynamics, man. Sure. Because those are your major strongholds, our numbers be brave, and Kakord ne anole hona, your opponent may have won.
No, but the issue is that okay, they see war Ablekuma.
Yes.
Obviously, there was a winner.
Absolutely.
But the court did not run the whole Ablekuma. Recently, another boy.
Yes.
The court never ran Ablekuma. No, the court don't make Kpandai. The same thing happened. The court never ran the whole Ablekuma. Don't Kpandai. Another boy.
Yeah, home put here. There was no issue of rerun. Say easy nana, it take a decision. Say
no, there was some police station.
Yes, but the EC took a decision. Say parties need atum. It didn't court. It didn't go to court.
You are right, but
yes.
I'm just saying that if our people had pressed that, at the end of the day, if they go around that small police station, it will not. Our people may not get the vote that will overturn that election.
Yes.
But there was issues in contention. So even if you want, let's leave a dummy out. And look at Ablekuma.
And look at
Ablekuma. Winning. So we are surprised.
Yeah, but said what kind of,
if there is time,
yes,
we bring, because the cross examination, clearly shows that all of us had our thinking. But Obi, why will you are not a polling station because somebody voted presidential and did not vote parliamentary?
Now you're part of the breaches.
Why will you say, in my duplicate, total votes were not recorded? While your votes were recorded, your opponent votes were recorded, but total votes were not recorded.
Ninaka breaches. Ninaka alleged breaches now.
These are largely what happened. They were talking about. These are largely what they were talking about because voting without verification, no. Those police stations are about 10. And now, let me bring this one to in. This 2024 election now, proxy votes were vertically verified.
Yes.
Do you know that?
No, that's news to me.
Yes, because proxy votes were vertically verified. It was not only manual. There was a system that was created that you have to verify biometrically. And also, you can go proxy back and verify biometrically. And it was also another charge on that police station said people who vote the police station verified 552 or something, and one voted manual, which is proxy, and the man accepted that yes. In any case, it was biometrically verified because I voted proxy for somebody, and I was biometrically verified. These are the things. And yes, irregularities, they complain that this happened and it affected my vote, or the first responder or the winner, Matthew, benefited from those irregularities. No, there was nothing like that.
It's interesting, but I am a decided I can say my filing notice of appeal, and I believe say accompanied to that a stay of execution in Someboa.
Yes, and no one file here.
Okay.
And a file appeal no.
Notice of
appeal. And now we sent the appeal to on the former MP in court there, and the first bailiff the man on Ojino to train.
Ojeto train. But at least ordinance so.
And you come and claim that Oman Seveno.
No ordinance so mu.
Oh, so mu. Our lawyer said he was there, and then they handed over to him.
Okay. Okay.
You can call our lawyer. Just investor is there. You can call him informally.
That's fine. I mean, you better share what the appeal would say. But of course, for parliamentary election petition, you say it's and they court of appeal. Let's see how that would pan out. It's interesting. I mean, maybe I see the full judgment of the court to appreciate the reasoning for the call for a total rerun into
on some of these cases,
yes,
the things are there. So why will you are not a resource when a primary source is available? Tell me, because we are going to talk about elections are won at the police stations, and this is popular when it comes to election petitions.
Yes.
Elections are won at the police stations. Over agents because you cannot be credited at all places. You have accredited somebody to be at least 2 people. Election here agents are signed, national agents are signed. Election no. Obi Beka say Obi recorded range of powers. That police station here council na electoral commissioner. Ajuma oye no. Na sabio sabin probiasa. That one council results.
I get you. I mean, on the strength of John Mahama versus Electoral Commission, NPP, and the recent one, no, I think Nanado versus the EC, and John Mahama versus the EC, the Supreme Court was clear on certain things. And it would see, I mean, Sadia can also see a judge in the ruling, so we understand the reason. But I believe because your lawyers were there, all the various grounds for appeal in the ruling they had. We'll see how the appeal will pan out. But of course,
get me. Let me bring you the papers. Who your lawyer? Analyze it and tell me. If that's why you win. To me, dear, Obi Adibio. Look, Obi Ane, up teaching me, I'm on my video on the situation in 2020, I was the MP, and I was even a leader in Parliament. I lost to him by 2,072. I lost to him by 2,072. The presidency called me. Satan Kwan and sit at here, 137, 137. They called me. I told them I will share blood because I want to become an MP. The will of the people is that I have lost.
Yes.
And this is the vote I have lost. I gave the seat to him. Some commission met me the 2 men now a woman some at that time, you know.
Yes.
But I didn't do it. But I met never over 10 elections, never between by 3,745. Now you know why do you say over frustrating me? Now Fabio, 2 men you go and take the seat. For the first time in the history of this country, the Fourth Republic, this is the first election now. MPP actually winning presidential Kpandai. The first time, 2012, although I won that election, Nana Akufo-Addo lost to John Mahama by 8,000 votes. 2016, I still won that election with about 700. Nana Akufo-Addo lost to John Mahama by about 5,000. 2020, although I lost in 2,000, Nana Akufo-Addo lost to John Mahama by close to 6,000. This is the first election. His Excellency Baumia Atimia winning with 535 against the sitting president.
Baumia won in your constituency.
Yes, Baumia won in my constituency by 535 votes. But NDC is still bent of still making Kimesa anti-IC3 for no reason.
In such in Chimno, I'm not too sure because they went to the appropriate forum. A court of competent jurisdiction, they decided you have the option to appeal, which you've taken. As I've said, I mean, as a lawyer myself, now I will not want to jump the gun because I mean the ruling of the court. At least once I get the ruling and read the reasoning of the court, we measure that up against precedents. The Supreme Court have ruled on elections, petition, what is a breach, and then was leading to an annulment of vote and all of that against the constitutional provision of the right to vote. And it's once we get the ruling, details now, we'll be able to appreciate the issues better. But I think you've taken the right decision to appeal, and let's see how our appeal no ebeko. But for now, because you've appealed, our file stay of execution, no. You hold yourself still as the MP for the constituency, right?
Exactly. I'm still the MP for the constituency.
Yes. And are you confident, sir, when push comes to shove, now someone say kotoa bani biewa, ubetimi wini?
I am very confident, sir. And now, what they are doing, no, sir, he hit the ground today. The people of Kpandai. They know me. Yet to about year 2020, no. The crop of MPs now are losing on the ticket of MPP, no. Those of us who decided to come back, say a contest on that seat, no, who are about 20 or something, I'm the only person who came back to Parliament.
Yeah.
I'm the only person who came back to Parliament. Although under this difficult condition, I still came back and appreciated the votes. Meaning, they think that because they are in government, they can take things round. But I'm running so, I will come back to Parliament.
Very well. Now, court neka say the judgment never ready time, man.
Well, I don't know if I don't know. Almost first case, and then original.
Okay.
And identify. Now, what can I say? Also, never be. And I will say the petition upheld. Go and rerun Kpandai in 30 days. the judgment will be ready by Friday.
By Friday.
I don't know.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, and they are sending now by anything. December, who's there? Every parliamentary election, you know, so if you know, declare or designate, they be called the collation center for the presidential and parliamentary election.
Yes. That's true.
Almost designate a particular place for the collection of the results from the polling stations. And that is within the CI. Now with Kpandai situation, you know, elections no fair. And I do say you be collect polling station results, you know, our constituency collation center. Now, gidi kaka me see honum. And so as a result of that, you know, just here anymore. And make a provision say gidi see what polling station the deciding officer no one who say or postpone election look the next day proceedings no. And now say ultimately no, ultimately postpone within 1 week. By 1 week, what do I say? Provision no, Robeka mutatis by logic.
Yes.
And it would definitely apply if you have a similar situation when there's a disturbance at the collation center. And you cannot collect results, no, because the results are declared at the collation center. They are not declared at the polling station when it comes to parliamentary results. Over declare Obita or your MP elector, and so who declare no, and collation center, and to declare no, the candidates or their representatives are entitled to be present. In fact, the word is that you shall not proceed to start the collation exercise without the presence of the candidates or their agents.
Okay.
If they themselves voluntarily decide to come back, everybody say, "Wagasawa you collect where we say worry, who decided to home back." After you have been notified, who say, "I have the collation center now," they can proceed. That the law does not allow a district election officer to redesignate Babubeka said, over sister venue of collation and I say venue of maybe about this over collecting results, no. That's over starting collation or baby for without informing the candidates or their representatives. Because when you do that now, it will be in breach of the CI and it will also be in breach of their natural justice rights. Because collation center rules now, they are entitled as candidates to even challenge and ask for a recount of votes taking place in a police station. They can ask for verification of the BVRs, no, among others. It is very, very important, sir. Na so we challenge bia, challenge you on and sana presiding officer no, and as the district election officer no, what about have a declare who is the MP elect. Now this is what happened in Kpandai. After the outbreak of violence, no, EC official no, unilaterally, without recourse to the NDC candidate or his representatives, relocated and redesignated the
collation center okay.
to another place. Tell me, say, I don't know Benjamin into to me and collation exercise also. That was clearly a breach of law. And the NDC candidates, you know, they don't know where the collation exercise took place and they don't take part very well against the CI. And imagine say we allowed this to stand as a precedent. Okay, and Krahakra, Yabaya collective exercise baby in some of the affected women, they went for a court order. Because the East does not have that power to redesignate or recollect at a different center other than the agreed center without notifying their candidates. And now candidates also the specific grievances and specific police stations and the concourse and say
and as a easy man, or the South or play now, or be raising or collecting center. Now, overall, no, offset the breach of the natural justice right. Now, offset the distraction of BVRs in your mind, it would have even been impossible for some of the irregularities, to have been investigated. So, our address, written address I did to court, was very simple. That on the grounds of breach of natural justice, any other things, of course, the only recourse available was to rerun the election. Now, Nyago Pradom, in that court, and what is even significant, and what was very, very striking, and I will make available easy for more representative, district electoral officer. That gentleman is a very, very dangerous gentleman, or you're very biased. Who is the officer? What about election? How do you side with one side? Now, what about Box Mark I said? Who more evidence there? Or your NDC candidate in a high for Omo Cheb Tamu, Yomo Bar, Collection Center, say, Yoma, dismantle Yoma, a coffee commotion. A buyer, you can't say, you have video 29 travel and the cross examination. And beside the pointing the fear. Over who NDC candidates are only being for as someone yeta and 1 month and now cast on Moyano. So to be appointed Bakukra. Secondly, you as the neutral, somebody who is supposed to be a neutral person in this whole exercise, you are taking sides. And I will say, all running election, perfectly. There was no breach, there was nothing. And that it is the NDC candidate who should be at fault. Because I don't know small Professor Mendisa is a money. How will you be neutral? Yabisha also said, to say who not TV, and national TV, and that the as no cost. Now one now say, who relocate sector, no, Nana NDC. Party representatives, candidate party representatives, produce evidence who inform me, because object to say, or getting in our phone number. And no name the beer, it to be phenomenal. You can't tell us, catch a court, and I say court, evidence, was said, for a candidate, and also catch a candidate to say, because of your man cost to 100, who relocate Tanako, Tamale, or to be a producer evidence. Yeah, it was that this was an election officer who was compromised, but he was the cause of the mayhem in Kpandai.
But lawyer, are there new coalition center now? Is Nikreti or Tamale no?
Yes.
Na NDC candidate, none a rep ewo.
Oh, because no new. That was the complaint. That was at the heart of our complaint.
Into coalition, a course of winning now.
And I'll give you proceedings,
okay,
so that you can look at the cross examination.
Okay.
We bank in our district.
FM.
Collecting center, no. What to me, I'm say security. This year, a man, no, and a man, say, see, I know can't say. You get to me at journey to the next day. I'm not so better to journey 1 week. Our police station, you know, why didn't you apply the same rules to collection center and now informal candidates, no? Because they have a right to raise any issues there. That's why it must be done in their presence.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot assume, say, what makes the TV so I can say, oh, we are getting a into why inform you. How do you do that? Is that a fair-minded EC official?
In the law, meaning, sir,
I think you're investigating.
Very well. Meaning, sir, the collation that was done at the collation center, Ewa Tamalino, Omuri, you know, so we share paper, ye true, and I see a recorded results in our sono. NDC candidate, and I send a rep and signs our paper, no.
They were not there.
Wow.
It was done in their presence. Oh, it's in Amrana say, I say, we are the present. Of course, or bet to me, or not on back, then they are different because of the issue. They say, rule no say our who quite say or challenging police station results.
Sure.
What I say?
Sure.
To be deserve for recount. It is some irregularities now. Also, say 41 places or say that irregularities no. The woman say oh yeah recollection now. Or better one the resi say who satisfy say 1 year one go through all that. Only reason we are on signing and I say who go ahead. How to mean trying to tell me say one take it part in collation exercise. No. Remember to say there can be no valid result declared when it is not done at the collation center.
Yes. Yes.
And yes, sir, returning officer, we have to go trying to I declare result.
Yes. Hello?
Yeah.
Lawyer. Yeah.
When your friend is court, I'm a 30 days. Say, let the EC run the election within 30 days. And then who say, declare, say by the decision of the court, there is no sitting MP in Kpandai anymore. Obia Obeka say, or you're sitting MP, no, he is in contempt of court.
Yeah.
I say, you share the election where I'm going to fight MP no for contempt.
Yeah, but
to make it say, or don't know the sitting MP no, has no legal basis.
Yeah, but he made a point, say, it is because immediately after the judge read out. Sure.
An application for stay and not say, what set aside judgment?
No.
What is the status quo? The status quo is that the judgment remains.
That's true. But I'm telling you, I was telling you why he made statement now making.
And I'm telling you, sir, you should have corrected him. Sir, an application for stay is not a grant of stay.
That's fair. I mean, the legal jurisprudence on that is still something lawyers are even debating. I mean, some
say no debate about it. It's Supreme Court. You see, intention. Against the constitutional body,
Yes.
So until the injunction is granted, against the constitutional body, the constitutional body has the right to do.
Has the right to go on that. That's true.
Exactly.
That's true. And for you, the government of Muishiwa, what they call court, was the new police.
We're filing for stay of High Court for the 17th of December. So things now you're still MP. I didn't filing still.
No, but I said, no, that will render if you don't stay the execution of the judgment, now you can file appeal, now the thing you are filing the appeal against, it take place, it may render your appeal no moot, and that's why maybe strategically.
The capacity or the year when it's an appealant.
Absolutely.
What you say?
Absolutely.
You are appealing a judgment. A judgment has gone against you.
That's fine, but I just wanted to be clear. The government of Mo petition, the collation center that was.
And I'll send you our written submission.
Okay.
Our point was very clear.
Okay.
Number one, breach of natural justice principles.
Okay.
The fact that anything it was in breach of CI,
Okay.
Said it must be done in our presence.
True.
Everything that was done at the collation center, we said should be declared null and void. And also the memorandum said, over here in breach of natural justice, it's a nullity. For Supreme Court, making argument, say, if for a court now, High Court now, it is order say, collation, say NDC voice, to be declared a nullity. And the court declared it a nullity.
Yes.
Wow. It is at the end of the day clear.
In the end, first ground, second ground near Adane.
The main way, also the other way was on irregularities. Say, in the constitution and the police station side, those to the attention of the returning officer, it would have asked for those nullified.
Yes.
But the fact say, I believe and full reason. But the main grounds are we are sure and believe that it was the audio third party in opposing all the other.
Okay.
The only way to make sure that there is no advantage to any party is to order for a rerun of the election.
Okay. And I think of all the three grounds, as you said, the court probably.
The strongest will be the principle of
the principle of the one against natural justice. No, okay. Because I think that in terms of the nullification of vote in certain polling stations, no, on the strength of John Mahama versus EC, Nana Akufo-Addo versus EC.
Who's there? But I say, who's there? Yes, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
But who's there? Because everything boils down to the foundation,
of course,
which is that you do the collation and declaration at the collation center. No?
Sure.
The route is illegal and fundamentally a nullity. There's nothing that can be grown on that particular.
That's true.
That you can't grow something on nothing.
Yes. Yes. That's true. Indeed, I get the argument from that angle. I think that probably is a strong. Let's see the reasoning of the court in the judgment. Now, you take it from there. Lawyer, it's a pleasure talking to you. Into that lawyer ni Kpakpo Samoa Addo, only a counsel for the petitioner in the Kpandai constituency parliamentary election petition. At least from Omom case, Omo court, not just say Omo grounds near 3. I think in my conversation with Honorable Matthew Yindam, he focused on one of the legs where I irregularities in some polling stations. But I think Omo major issue how the collation was done and where it was done. Into raising natural justice principles, and that's a strong. Let's see court judgment ne bar. Then we look at the full judgment. No, they actually the reasoning of the court. If the court based solely on natural justice argument, petitioners a canvas, then we would see. But of course, someone move to appeal, and so something that the law allows them to do. In the Ebeshe Hawa, Neoma Bisiagba, it's an interesting, very, very interesting case.